Alright, we're streaming.
Nice.
Alright, so I hope that everything is actually set up correctly now and that I've, I'm, like, not actually embarrassing myself.
Yeah, I can hear audio. The thumbnail's correct.
Yeah, I'm, like, not actually. Alright, awesome. Yeah, no, I hear it is too. Okay, great. So, anyways, today we're going to be reviewing chapter 1026, titled Turning Point. Me and Dylan did have a little bit of discussion the first time we tried to stream this, but basically, we've come to the consensus this chapter that, basically, like, this is the first chapter where we've had a real criticism, like an actual criticism, where we feel like Oda has done something in error, like, in the manga. Something that I just kind of, I beefed with a little bit, but I'm not too upset because also what happened, what we got, was still good.
Yeah, it is.
And then on top of that, just something monumental happened this chapter. Something that when I first was speaking to Dylan, was downplaying. But now that I've given it some thought, it's actually super, super, super important.
Yeah,
and it basically is just a really symbolic, momentous occasion. This is a chapter about pirates that split the sky. First off, is this okay, I thought that was Vivi for a second, but it's Nami. And Leo making cute, fashionable clothes for a young lion mink. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like Leo a lot, and I feel like he's really strong. And I want to see Leo in a high diff fight against, like, a really good opponent eventually, because we're going to get that in the
That would be fun.
Because we're going to get the Grand Fleet in some capacity. I was questioning before Wano started whether the Grand Fleet was going to show up for Wano, if they might be necessary, but no, obviously not, and they're going to be fine without them probably, unless,
for sure. Even if they were to show up now, like, it would just be too late. Things would already be done. Like, by the time they would be actually there to help, like, it would be over with.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, besides Kaido, because everybody else besides the top dogs have been defeated now, like, we said that Brook might be getting a fight, but who is there for Brook to fight besides Apu? You know, and that's, like, potential. That would have to, like, happen later. But honestly, I mean, if they're not giving, like, Perospero an on-screen whooping of ass against Nekomamushi, why would they give Brook a fight this late? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Like, a matchup that hasn't even been, like, you know, shown to be possible of happening right now, because they're in two different areas and doing two different things.
Though, it should happen quickly, and if it did happen, that would be so dope, because for one thing, Apu's an incredibly durable character. This man has taken slashes from Zoro. He's taken slashes from Drake with the mace, and also he's just taken a punch to the face by Eustace. So that would be insane.
He did, I forgot about that. He didn't just punch him in the face, he slammed him into, like, a wall.
Not to mention, did you see everybody memeing in the anime about how, like, Eustace was priming up the punch for, like, 10 minutes? It was the longest punch, and Apu just stood there. Like, it was not fast at all. Like, Apu just kind of, like, stood there while Eustace collected all the trash pieces for a good 1 minute and 20 seconds of animation, like he was going Super Saiyan and powering up for the first time or something. It was hilarious.
That is hilarious.
This chapter starts off showing us the flower capital of Wano. The fire festival blazes on. We see children, families having fun down at the fire festival, ignorant to what is going on above. Oh, Toko, are you having fun? Yeah! Where are you going, Otama? Forgive me, Master. I can't just sit here and do nothing. Don't worry, we'll protect her. This is the Smiles talking. Out of the question. Get back here. This is Tenguyama talking, the guy who's an ancestor of the people who created the Kitetsu Blades. Please let Otama be safe, he's thinking. There's no telling now that she's out at sea. I have an update on a mysterious dragon.
Now, real quickly,
yeah, what's up?
Something I'd like to point out here, that's really cool, is that Onigashima is literally on top of the flower capital.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could see it through the clouds now.
It
and
is, like, very
considering
close.
what has happened
Yeah.
with the, at the end of this chapter, it is very likely that the skies have cleared and that now all the citizens can see Onigashima by the end of this chapter, I feel like.
Yo, no, that is true, Dylan, because the skies are clear. They're probably going to be able to witness what's going on above to some degree by next chapter, or at least the next two, because... Yeah, no, I mean, there's going to be space lasers going on above. Kaido is a portable space laser. For all intents and purposes, he is the Star Wars project. So, no, that is incredibly cool. And they're huge. They're going to be able to see their new Shogun, the Pink Dragon, take on the Shiryu Dragon, the Blue Dragon. I have an update on a mysterious dragon. Master Yamato is alone, on the roof, injured. An unbelievable sight is playing out in the skies above. The two dragons are squaring off. Kaido-sama, the Azure Shiryu, is being challenged by the Pink Dragon. And Azure Shiryu just means blue dragon. That's what that means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's being challenged by the Pink Dragon. Being ridden on by Straw Hat Luffy, and dude, Luffy is so cool right now, dude. Why is he so cool? He's really he's grabbing the situation by the horns.
He is.
This dude is commanding people, like, he is truly showing that Conqueror, Roger...
Pirate King.
Pirate King level activity right now, like, dude.
He really
seriously.
is. He's gotten beat down like 3 times this arc, and every single time he's come back stronger.
I'm going to talk and I'm going to mention about the evidence for why Sanji is going to unlock Conqueror's Haki, and it's one of the reasons I'm going to be putting in there is the G5 situation where Sanji pretty much convinces some pirate-hating Marines to like him in a matter of minutes. So that's kind of like gives you Conqueror's vibes, but this is just like on a whole nother level. This is just like Yonko vibes. Like, Luffy is now the leader of an organization. Like Big Mom and Kaido. They give out commands and it's done.
No questions. You just do it.
Yeah, no questions. Just real quick. Dylan, why don't you read the remainder of this page? We stopped at the Blue Dragon Kaido part. Okay,
yes. Is being challenged by the Pink Dragon, ridden by Straw Hat Luffy. If I could turn into a monster like that, I would actually be useful to the others. That's Momona flashback that Yamato is thinking about. The dragon's identity is still unknown, so Yamato must have been the one keeping Kaido-san busy, and that's Queen talking back on the loudspeaker. But there's no doubt it's hostile. And then Kaido, he starts charging up his laser beam. And then Luffy's or I think it's Momo actually, he's saying he's about to use his fire breath. And then Luffy just says, alright, counter it with your own breath. I thought that was hilarious, actually. He's just like, go, shoot back. And Momo's like, I can't do that. And then Kaido fires off his blast breath. It's really cool. And then Momo kind of does this like swirling dodge around it.
Yeah, no, that was actually pretty impressive of Momo.
It was. It was very impressive.
He did it maybe subconsciously and didn't really mean
to.
That's really funny. The face Momo makes when Luffy tells him to counter it. Yeah, no, I agree, Dylan. Look at that panel right there. That is hilarious. It is so impressive, by the way, and it is like going to be so poetic. The moment in this battle where Momonosuke is going to probably be beaten into submission out of his dragon form, and he's going to show up, and it's going to be like the reincarnation of Odin. Like, because we have yet to see him in his human form, and when he returns to it, it's just going to be it's going to be like Luke Skywalker showing up in the third Jedi, like Return of the Jedi, when he has the black cloak, and he's actually, like, kind of confident. It's going to be so sick.
And that'll be like the, that'll kind of be like the payoff to the 2 times we got teased, like, oh, is Odin alive, right? With the whole, Scabbards part and Conjuro. I
still believe Odin's alive.
I don't think he is. He's definitely dead. That dude is for sure dead.
In my headcanon, Odin will always be alive. That dude's a different breed. He's alive. I don't care what anybody says. That's just my headcanon.
Yeah, no, he's alive. Totally. But it'll be a nice payoff that we'll actually see, Odin again, in a way. Odin.
But yeah, no, like, I would like to go back to that. Luffy is acting like he's a Yonko, right? No, he is a Yonko right now, officially.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how I was talking about I think the first video I made on my damn channel was why Luffy isn't the 5th Yonko, because when Morgans wrote that page, it was very clear that he was not yet.
Yeah, he was not at that level yet.
This is the Yonko saga. He went to Whole Cake, and then he went around in that territory and he left. He was not powerful enough to defeat Big Mom. He had to go there and use everything to defeat Katakuri, and it still really almost wasn't enough. So he went there for growth, and Morgans, when they actually introduced Morgans and explained to us what his organization was like at the Reverie, Dylan, and introduced to us, like, what the World News Organization is like, it basically revealed to us, like, hey, that headline was cap. Luffy is definitely not the 5th Emperor, especially because there was that panel of Blackbeard saying, "Zahahaha, not yet, Straw Hat."
And even Akainu made a remark like, "Oh, what are these people talking about? Like, he's nowhere near there yet," or something like that. Akainu even made a remark about it.
Do you think that Blackbeard had mastery of his Conqueror's Haki at Marineford?
No. I actually saw a really funny power scaling post the other day on the subreddit. And it was like Whole Cake Island Luffy, like, at the end versus pre-time skip Marineford, like Nogura Blackbeard, who would win? And like, who do you think would win in that situation?
So here's the thing about Blackbeard.
Not trying to go off track too much. I'm just curious.
No, don't worry. This is actually interesting because, like, here's the thing about Blackbeard. I've always been number one to downplay Blackbeard, but you have to understand that Blackbeard is actually, like, when you see the nuances of his character, I have always day one I've downplayed this man. I have downplayed him.
I've always liked to give him the benefit of the doubt, I would say.
There are nuances. Here's the thing. Blackbeard, off rip, was given a fruit, okay, that literally made him more of a target. Like, he takes more damage. He is inflicted more pain. Like, he's not weak. He's just, by default, the moment we were introduced to him, he had the Yami Yami no Mi. The moment we saw him as a physical character. So the moment he starts taking damage from these low-tier characters, like, the thing is that Gear 2nd Luffy is still strong. He's still a powerhouse that was able to show up to Marineford and do things, but the thing that separates him from any other character there is that he's just a rookie who doesn't understand how the world works and doesn't understand hockey. So the thing is that, like, Blackbeard pre-time skip was taking damage from Luffy at Impel Down. He was taking damage from Ace. This was just probably Oda throwing these characters some bones. Letting Luffy get his lick in, letting Ace get his lick in. Because if you remember, the moment Ace got hit by Blackbeard, it was done. This dude has monstrous, crazy strength that there has been at least 3 times in One Piece where it has been mentioned that Teach is a monster, and he kept that on the down low and did not let his talent show.
Because his whole like scheme in the beginning was to lie low and not become an infamous pirate. That's like, that was his whole shtick in the beginning.
And dude, the thing is that he showed up to Marineford, and he did do that like bitch play where they all were like shooting and stabbing Whitebeard, but there is that scene you have to remember. Dirty. You have to remember where Blackbeard is physically strong enough to uppercut Whitebeard into the air and have him airborne for a little bit. Like, that's that true. Is and insane. On top of that, insane.
We don't really know when it happened, but, Blackbeard did give Shanks his scar, and Shanks admitted himself that it was, completely fair, and, like, his own fault he got that scar, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's another thing to talk about with that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, that is a feat. Honestly, dude, I still hold the position that Blackbeard individually in 1v1 situations is the weakest Yonko by far, and he's losing every 1v1 fight. I think that Blackbeard knew he was a Conqueror's Haki user by the time he was at Marineford. Perhaps was capable of using Conqueror's Haki to impose will on others to some degree. I think that he now knows how to use Conqueror's Haki offensively. but he's still
I definitely 100%.
Yeah,
he
but
100% does.
But he's still but he's still at the same time, Dylan. He individually lacks the talent still to be with the greats.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about Blackbeard.
Uh-huh. I'm really waiting to see how he develops more. Like, I feel like currently, I agree with that. Because he is the newest Yonko, and he's only been a Yonko for 2 years. Before that, it was Shanks. In pre-time skip, he had only been a Yonko for 6 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like there is still definitely room for Blackbeard to grow. So, I do feel like at this time, I feel like he's at their level. Kind of similar, more so than Luffy, but kind of similar to Luffy. In how, like, he's at that level, but I still see him losing 1v1 to each of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Momo. Luffy jumps off Momonosuke's head. He pumps air to his arm. He is using a Gear 3rd ability, Elephant Gun. He goes down and he clocks Kaido. Kaido is very much a target in his dragon form. I'm learning. He's very much susceptible to being hit, but of course, attacks like that, unless they're combined with, very powerful forms of hockey, they're not going to be doing anything. They're just going to be bouncing him around. But as you can see, Luffy just does this purely to bounce him around. He says, hey, Momo. He tells him, before he does this, by the way, he says, bite, Kaido, bite him. No way, no way, no way, no way. I can't. We're surrounded. It's Kaido! Toki-sama! Please! Flee! Mother! Wait, so is that like...
That's a flashback.
Is that Kaido murking Toki?
I think that's Kaido grabbing Momonosuke. And this is from Toki's point of view, I think.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
because
for
it was already canon confirmed in the anime that she was shot with bows.
Yeah, and she was outside the castle by the time that happened.
Yeah, dude, the anime
also,
is
dude,
so crazy,
in this
bro.
This top left panel on this page, dude, Kaido's stance just looks so hard.
Oh yeah, bro.
I don't know why.
Kaido's the coolest
it looks so
thing.
hard.
Flashback Kaido's the coolest shit. Wait till we get to see the God Valley flashbacks, because we're getting them.
Oh yeah.
We're getting everything. We're getting it all now. Dude. It's so crazy how, like, they almost have to rely on the anime at this point to fill in content. Like, Toki's death scene literally non-existent in the manga. Like,
I mean, it's existent, it's just not to, like, the clarity that it is
like,
in the
bro, I think
anime.
you see, like, the side of her hip with an arrow sticking out at most, bro. Like...
No, you don't even see that. I think you just see, she, like, says something, it pans to, it, like, shows, like, a gun going off, and then it, like, shows the sky, I think.
Dude, from a, goddamn freaking manga perspective, a manga viewer perspective. Oh my gosh, okay, people are actually talking in the chat, and there are people here, but like none of my things are actually telling me that. That is so funny. So Shattuck is in here, hello, and Rhombus is in here. I will pay attention to it on my phone. Thank you, technology. But yeah, no. Dude, what was I just saying? Yeah, no, it was kind of basically like, if you're a manga reader, you cannot know for sure if Toki was dead or not. You could extrapolate that she might still be alive. Like, you and me were talking about that legitimately, like, we were theorizing. But, like, they are slightly relying on the anime to fill in those gaps. And now that I'm completely, like, for the most part, a manga reader, I'm starting to notice.
I think we're going to really be able to see this be put to the test by the time when we see the scabbards go to the roof and we see how the anime does the whole Sulong, Inu, and Neko just absolutely washing it.
Oh, yeah. No,
if they really flush that out, I feel like they're going to do that for everything else, like the Peros fight and the Jack.
Absolutely, Dylan. I hope they do, by the way. I hope they milk it out
That'd be
as
really
much
cool.
as they can. I just hope they don't do anything foolish. The only thing Toei has truly done foolish so far with Wano is that scene with Zoro and the Kankosaki. That was fucking... Excuse my French, YouTube.
There's also something that happened recently I was pretty salty about.
Really? What is it? You could tell me.
Dude, the cum blood.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay.
Oh, dude.
So that is
We don't have to
really
talk about-
interesting. Is that like a? I don't, dude. One Piece isn't that PC. Why is it cum blood?
It's like I said, I don't really care about what it is. The fact that it's there, I don't care about. It's fine. It's still cool. Still, still know what's happening. But like, it's just why? Like,
Dude,
why?
Because here's the thing.
There's
in
no
One
reason.
Piece, in One Piece, dude, like, what is it? Like, it's usually like a blood splatter. Like, Zoro cuts them and it's like, for a little bit. Like, blood, like, splatters a little bit, isn't it? Or it's just like they have a bloody cross on their chest and that's like, usually that's what it, like, Dressrosa, there was blood, right? Like, come on, there was blood in Dressrosa. And, dude, this is so funny. I love Momonosuke taking a chomp out of Kaido after getting pissed about his parents dying. Like, actually, this man claimed both of his parents, if we're gonna be honest. Both of them.
He did.
He took everything from him.
He
And
really
now
did.
he's potentially taken, I hope, Kinemon.
He's taken his parents and he's taken practically his uncles.
Dude, honestly, bro, like, that's so crazy.
Kinemon, Kikyu, Ashura.
Your father was a fool of a lord. Wah! Jump! Dude, he borrowed Goku's best move. They also showed Ace and Yamato brief flashback. And I don't get Momo for Nakama. Okay, here's the thing. There is a part of me that has been thinking recently that the only reason Yamato would not join the crew is if this happened. Okay, so here's the thing. We've all been talking about, like, Yamato is the Oden parallel, but what if Oda pranks us in the whole time Momonosuke was the Oden parallel? Because we think, like, Yamato is going to come aboard the ship and be like Oden, like was to Roger, right? But the thing is that Yamato isn't a legitimate Kozuki. So what if Momonosuke, like, on some really fried stuff, decided to go with Luffy and the crew and be the Oden parallel, and Yamato truly accepted her role as Oden and became the Shogun? Like,
that would be interesting, and that would totally flip it in the exact opposite way of what people think.
Kaido actually wants her to become the Shogun, and she doesn't want that, but what if after the Kaido is defeated, like, the idea is not so bad to them? That's, like, the only... I do not stand this idea. I don't ship
I definitely don't stand this idea.
But I'm just saying that, like, this is the only conceivable way.
It is interesting. It is the only conceivable way. There's also the whole Otama for Nakama thing. Some people talk about, which is interesting.
Nah,
I'm not on board with that either.
Can stay.
Yeah, no, I only want one girl.
It is
That's
just
Yamato.
It is just enough that Tama, like, is gonna get fed after this, bro. Just be happy with your food. You're not gonna be a crew member. We don't let kids join. Okay? Kids don't get to be Straw Hat unless they're really cool, super awesome, supernatural kids, which you aren't. You just, like, control animals. Which, dude, animals are not strong in One Piece. If you really think about it, pre-time skip Sanji was able to, like, destroy every beast they encountered. Like, dinosaurs, crocodiles, anything. Animals are weak compared to, actual humans in One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
When Growl, what's up? I have doubts for those characters. Yeah, no, I have doubts for pretty much everybody except Yamato. Momonosuke is second in line. Tama, third in line. Carrot, please go back to Furryland, please.
Go back to Furryland.
Yeah, Yamato's been locked for 30 years, and she is free now and needs some self-discovery. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the main reason why I agree. That Yamato is going to become a crew member. I'm fully convinced.
Yeah, me too. I always have been.
Now...
And the more we see of it, the more I'm convinced, even though I've already been 100% convinced since the beginning.
Mm-hmm. This really passionate bite from Momo, also, just because Momo has Odin's strength now, and, also, just because he's literally the same size, he's comparable size to Kaido. A little bit smaller, maybe, but dude, he looks really similar in size. They might be the same size. Dylan, do you think they might be the same size?
I feel like Momo's probably just a little shorter. I feel like Kaido's probably longer.
Your father was a fool of a lord. Wah! Chomp. What are you doing, brat? And then he finally realized, you ruined Wano. If it weren't for you, father and mother, they would both be Momonosuke-kun. Yamato? Nice going, Momo. Dude, Luffy coming in with that.
This is sick.
Flippin', dude, he rocked his jaw. I hope. Oh my gosh, dude, it's gotta be coded in some hockey, please.
No, it is for sure. Look at it.
Yeah.
Look at his hand.
He goes in for that Pirate King boots. Luffy needs to have a move called the Pirate King Punch by end of series.
That'd be sick.
The King of Punch! Dude, okay. There either needs to be a flashback on a meme, like Gold Roger doing the Pirate King Punch, or Luffy needs to do the Pirate King Punch. Somebody needs to do a move called the Pirate King Punch.
That'd be sick.
Alright, we've seen the last of the moon tonight. Treasure repository. Dome interior. Dragons call forth storm clouds after all. Whoa, okay, no. Okay, wow, actually, that's cool that they prefaced with this. Dragons call forth storm clouds. So that's the reason that the storm clouds are here. Dragons actually can do that and call them forth. If I had taken another hit, I probably wouldn't be standing now. So this is what me and Dylan relish about this moment, okay? So this is the first... Okay, I'm just going to read this and then I'm going to explain. After that, we see Perospero saying, "Don't feel bad about the moon, you fat cat. It's not that your luck is bad. Mine's just better. Master Nekomamushi, he's no longer in a Sulong form. Momo, huh? Momonosuke-sama. Okay, I'll stop right there. But anyways, okay, so here's the thing. Nekomamushi versus Perospero is definitely a parallel between the Cheshire Cat and the Mad Hatter. I'm 100% convinced. There is a clear difference here. Jack the Drought is a 3rd commander level character with over 1 billion bounty berries, okay? And he says, if I had taken another hit, I probably wouldn't be standing now. So, Inurashi almost had him on the ropes. He almost had him down for count.
He had him on the ropes, bro.
Yeah, dude, like, he literally was like, bro, one more hit, I'd be done. Perospero versus Nekomamushi, on the other hand, the moment Nekomamushi...
Dude, he's just cheesing. He's just cheesing about it, dude. He's hyped.
Bro, the reason I love Perospero so much is because, like, they're actually giving him, as a character, the perfect amount of power scaling. So, Nekomamushi, I would say, is a 3rd commander level character in Sulong form. Like, but without it, no. Like, doesn't have the ability to defeat Jack, does not have the ability to do it without the Sulong form. With Sulong form, clearly over. Clearly over.
Yeah,
like, Sulong form is Super Saiyan, the Minks get a Super Saiyan form. The contrast between Inu fighting Jack is that Jack was just like, bruh, I'm almost down for the count. But Peros, on the other hand, wielding this giant badass candy
no, this is so cool. This axe is so cool.
With the candy coming up from the fucking floor. He's like, fuck you, you fat cat bitch. It's not that your luck is bad, it's just mine's better. Dude, because the moment he's out of Sulong form, you could clearly see, like, Peros' fruit is popping off. He's, like, folding him like an omelet. So, the real criticism I have of this is that these two fights have been foreshadowed literally since the beginning of the arc, and it is a sin that we did not get a couple more panels of Peros and Jack saucing on them. It is a sin that this much was off-screened. I am happy that they are giving these characters the correct power scaling that they deserve, Dylan. But you and me both know that this is just kind of a little bit unacceptable. Like, these fights have clearly been foreshadowed since Zo.
Yeah, it is only redeemed by the fact that we do see what we see at the end.
Yes.
That is the only redeeming factor about this. It's still cool. It's still cool to see. Like, yeah, it isn't bad at all.
It's just
like,
lacking.
I mean,
it's lacking.
Yeah, exactly. It is good to see, and it's nice to see Peros, like, you know, jockeying over Neko right now. It is cool to see Jack being pushed to his limits by Inu, right? And it's cool what we see at the end. It's just I wish that we saw like all the things that happened leading up to this.
Oda really is probably tired, bro. He's really trying to finish this series. Pero's underrated, and I can't wait for these fights in the anime. That's what we're saying. The anime better supplement the shit out of these fights. I want, like, damn near a whole episode of just
Listen, come on, think about this, Gannon.
Peros.
Think about this. Think about the Roger pirates versus the Whitebeard pirates in the anime. We didn't see any of that in the manga. Kaido versus Big Mom. We didn't see any of that in the manga, but we saw it and it was cool. It was good.
Yeah, you're right. They added in like an extra like 20-second clip, which maybe would be like a panel's worth. I don't want that. I want 5 panels worth. Like I want some Katakuri extra level shit. Like some like I want them to juice these fights out. It is so cool and appropriate of Oda that Mans actually allows us to see the candy fruit in action. Like, he does his best. Oda's tired. He wants to finish this fucking arc, Dylan. I can tell that. He doesn't want to draw these panels. He doesn't want to draw these fights. I get that. But goddamn is he talented. Look at him in his illustration of Peros. Like, that just makes me... That just there makes me happy.
Yes.
Luca
like,
Pizza,
yeah, I'm still happy to
dude?
see.
Welcome to the stream. It is good to see you, as always. No, dude, getting to see the giant candy axe, he is literally, like, almost, like, awakening. Like, he's, like, dispersing candy and just controlling it and turning it into tentacles. Bro, like, Perospero is so... Like, I already made my Perospero's underrated video. I've been repping this dude for the longest time. I love that Oda's giving him the respect he deserves, but I wish he would have given us just one more panel of Neko getting his ass kicked, please! I know you're not trying to, you know, bully the scabbards like that, but bro, it's Peros and Jack. These characters have been bullied a little bit themselves. It's time for them to bully back. It's time, yeah, especially Jack. It's time, Jack seems like he's been getting bitched on, I'm gonna be honest.
He has.
Besides them just having their super
He has, when you do think about what he has done, though, it is very impressive the things he has done. But he also has had a lot of things be done to him.
I don't think it is that impressive.
He did take on an entire army of Sulong Minks and defeat them. On top of the roof. Before he got washed by Inu and Neko. He and Kaido and some people were taking all those things on. So there was that scene when
he took on a bunch of them and then he was like fucking like fucked up and his horn was missing. And then Inu and Neku show up and they're like, okay, it's time for us to step up. And Jack's like, okay, bring it on. And then he gets... Dude, them together in the Sulong form, actually, it's like Goku and Vegeta working together in their Super Saiyan.
It still lives in my head. It still lives in my head when Kaido's just like, oh no. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. They're just too strong.
He's like, Jack, bro, I'm not even salty about that. They're just too strong, dude. They're just too strong. Like, I wouldn't expect Cracker to show up here and do anything. I wouldn't expect you to show up here and do anything, dude. He's just too strong. Legendary, how amazing of a power scaler Oda is and how he actually puts in these nuances and basically for us to tell. Like, the power scaling in One Piece is really good. Alright, continuing. You just bit one of the 4 emperors! After doing that, does anything in the world still seem scary to you? Luffy yells up with his jock conqueror's stature, like a Yonko, telling him like, bro, you just bit Kaido, like, come on, nothing's gonna scare you now. And then, Momonosuke in this panel to the right, it's kind of funny, he's just pogging, he's like,
no?
He's like, you're right.
Wow.
Right, Luffy? Down. Pog. No! Then go! You can fly! You believe in yourself, kids! You can fly! You can do it! Literally, just believe in yourself, go jump off a roof and you can fly! You can do it, I swear! Have you seen that, Dylan? I think it's an SNL skit. An old one, I don't remember. So, we get a little, cut back to Zoro and Sanji. By the way, I need to make a video with you. I am 1000% convinced that the raid suit, because Sanji's feeling weird after using the raid suit, Dylan, that there is technology in the raid suit that Judge is probably constructed. Like, so, here's the thing. Sanji, this is my theory. Sanji is going to understand that Judge cares about him to some degree, because in this suit, there is going to be a mechanism that is basically going to awaken Sanji's modifications, and on top of him already being a metahuman, he's going to become a metahuman superhuman metahuman.
Listen,
That is what's going to happen. And then
saw
Sanji, yeah.
a very cool theory the other day. I'm not necessarily saying I stand this. I'm going to keep it really short, but it's essentially saying that the key to Sanji truly becoming stronger is to not deny and cast out his name, but to instead accept it.
Yes,
right?
In some fashion.
Because if he accepts it, then that's what, because his entire life he's been dogged on by his family. He has never once been given the chance to love and appreciate his family, right? So if that was what was holding his modifications from actually blossoming, right? Maybe when he finally accepts his name, Vinsmoke, is when he will actually start to grow.
That is really interesting. That is really good. I wouldn't be mad if that was the case. I just think I prefer my theory a little bit more, because I would like to think that...
Yeah.
So, while Sanji was away, missing, he probably thought that, oh, Judge doesn't give a fuck about me. He probably just wants to find me to enslave me again or something. But really, there's this scene of this flashback of Judge probably just having, like, a moment of thought. And then he just goes and he's like, if Sanji ever comes back, he's like, I'm gonna fix him. He's like, the reason why he's had this life really is because, you know, he wasn't as good as his brothers and sisters, and he doesn't deserve that just because he's different. Maybe Judge didn't think exactly this much because Judge is really a dick. But, but I'm just saying, like, Judge had maybe just the moment of compassion to create this device and put it in the suit. For one thing, he made the suit, you know, like, Sanji, did he even know for a fact Sanji was alive? After all this time? Like, did he even make the suit?
No, I think the suit was made when the others were made, because they were expecting him to, at some point, you know, be able to have his, like, modifications awaken. Because the suit is, like, you know, it's the stealth black suit. It's, like, the whole Jerma, like, story or whatever that Law talks about. It's, like, you know, it's Sora, you know, one of the Jerma people, and it's, like, you know, Niji, Ichi, all those others are the other ones. And so it would be... It's, like, always been there, I think, is the whole point. Just waiting for somebody to fill it.
Sorry, just checking something. Yeah, so basically, we go back to Sanji and Zoro, and that's basically, I'm going to make some videos on Sanji. I haven't been making enough One Piece content as I have recently. I've been doing some IRL stuff. I went to a concert recently. Just been a little bit distracted, but I'm going to make a video on Sanji really soon. Within the next 2 days, I really want to get it out. So anyways, we go back. Did he just say Momo? Yeah, but that dragon couldn't have been. There's no way. I will definitely, Luffy, probably one of the coolest panels I've ever seen.
I agree.
Looking towards Kaido shadowed out. I will definitely, he's saying this over the loudspeaker, he's like, I will definitely beat Kaido! Luffy,
and what's cool about this is it isn't like he's directly talking into the loudspeakers or something. He's just shouting so loudly that the Mary is picking him up.
Yeah, no, for sure, absolutely. Momonosuke-sama! Mama! You hear that? What a rambunctious brat! Big Mom has a slight respect for Luffy. I'm gonna say it right now. She hates Luffy, but you could tell there have been a couple of times in the series
she acknowledges Luffy.
where she acknowledges him. She does.
Also, I love how Big Mom is just laughing, and then we have Kid in Law just absolutely like fucked up. It's great.
I remember back in the like the old days of me being just kind of like a dumbass, and I was like giving Big Mom so much criticism just because she was so stupid. But now Big Mom is such a great, beautiful, three-dimensional character I've come to respect, and I feel like I'm just going to grow to love her more.
Yeah.
And I really hope that whatever fate is in store for her, it's a good one. Weirdly, because honestly, Big Mom is a victim.
She is.
She's a victim.
She is. I think if she was brought up better, she would have been a better person.
She would have been a better person. She's just a victim of her own body. Like, she was born with these, you know, strange deformities where she's just a crazy, giant, monster strength creature. And it wasn't tolerated, and it wasn't, you know, properly handled. You freaking better! So this is really cool. I love just every interaction we have with Kid in the Supernovas. It's great. Oda, you're such a good author, dude. I love you, bro. Where the hell has he been? Big bro! Momo-kun! Gah! Ha 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 ha! Get him, Luffy! Luffy Toro-san! Okay, so Kaido drops from the sky like a transformer coming out of his, like, car mode into his robot mode. He's going back in his hybrid form. He's like, you really think you have a chance against me? As long as I'm still breathing? Anything could happen! Bah!
They clash. And then the moment we've been waiting for years
why don't you go
upon
ahead
years.
and tell us, Dylan? And why don't you also go ahead and tell us why this is important? Because I know you appreciate this way more than me.
So, we see them clash. You know, Conqueror's Hockey attacks clash. And then the next panel, big and proud, boom! The sky split apart. The third time in the series we've seen this happen is now between Luffy and Kaido. Alright? The heavens, they've split, and then the Mary gets knocked unconscious from the effects of their Conqueror's clash.
Her mask, like, splits unless her mask was, like, light. That, I don't know what the fuck happens, bro, but she is bodied.
I'm not sure.
Gets bodied.
And then, you know, on the left, we see, you know, the moon is out, and then Jack and Peros are then, you know, proceeding to shit their pants. And then Inu and Neko get back up. And then they go, Oda in one sword style. Alright? And then I love how Neko is like, you were saying something about luck, and Peros is like, what? And then Neko and Inu, one Odin one sword style, grinning cat claw, decapitating dog flesh, and then they just mess them up.
Dude,
just one shot them.
Okay, I cannot stress this enough, Dylan. I really need to cut in. So, minks have Super Saiyan. This is literally what this is. So, they just pulled a Goku and they pulled out the last remaining energy in their bag from the moon, and they did the Kaioken times 10, and they did these power moves on them.
It's also so cool how Inu has his arms crossed while doing this. What a jock. Look at him.
Dude, so, bro, like, there needs to be that Drake meme where it's like Inu, like, without his Sulong form, and that's Inu in his Sulong form, you know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Because,
but anyways.
Bro, he's like, dude, it's almost like they're different characters when they're in their Sulong form. Like, look at him. He is, like, super confident. He's a jock. Like, bro, why? Yeah, no, why? Now that you're pointing out, I am definitely, like, preferring Inu's finishing move just because of how cool he looks in his Sulong.
No, I agree. But going back before we finish off the chapter to the sky splitting, right?
Yes.
This is so insane to me, right? Because not only has this been built up in anticipation for Luffy to pull this off, longer even than Zoro using Ashura again, right? In the fact that the amount of characters we've seen do this, you can count on one hand, and they are only the strongest characters in the verse, and to finally see Luffy do the same thing we've seen those crazy characters do and get hyped up.
Oh, it's so
it really signifies that Luffy is that guy now. Like, he still may not be exactly equal with them, but he is most definitely, like, in their territory and standing on equal ground with them for sure. This is what 100% signifies that Luffy is that guy now.
Spitting. I cannot agree more. This symbolically just means that, like, bro, so, like, there have been moments in the series, like, where we always questioned and we've dreamed about Luffy reaching the realms of an Admiral or a Yonko. Luffy is an Admiral right now. At minimum. Luffy's an Admiral. And I think he's, with the Sky Split, I think that signifies that he's surpassed that and he's entering the realm of the Yonko. Because Luffy now not only has to beat Admirals, like, he has to defeat a Yonko who's right in front of him, so he has to be a Yonko. And the Sky Split symbolically means that he's entering that realm. So I feel like Luffy has reached Admiral level. And now he's entering Yonko level, and this right here, this is symbolically signifying that. He's entering that realm. That Big Mom and Kaido are
truly this time entering it.
Also, I believe that Kid might be capable of the same thing.
We'll see.
eventually.
I don't know. Okay, eventually, yes. I was gonna say I don't think we'll see Kid doing something like that this arc, not at all. But yeah, or maybe no.
So
we won't see that this arc.
so-
But I definitely think he would be capable of it eventually, for sure.
So I really hope Perospero is okay. His candy arm just gets shattered in this most beautiful illustration. Like, this is a beautiful way to take this dude out. Big Mom's eldest son, Perospero, has been defeated. Jack the Drought, Beast Pirate All-Star, also defeated. Huff, huff. You're kidding. Even Jack was... No, wait. That's not my problem
Here's
anymore.
this slimy cockroach
Who's that?
again.
Who's that peeking from behind the door?
Who could it be?
Okay, also,
We have no idea.
Also, I really like how it says there's no break. I'm pretty sure it says there's no break.
No, there's no break next
Okay.
week, I don't think.
So, yeah, Dylan, I'm already gonna tell you, you already know what my rating is. It's an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
So, this chapter did not excite me enough to go beyond
I will
that.
I will
gauge.
say I
Yes.
will say the last 3 pages of this chapter, albeit everything before it, absolutely great, right? Great One Piece, as it always is. But I will say the last 3 pages of this chapter definitely carried hard this chapter. And the Peros being off screen, albeit still getting something from it and something that is very cool. Peros getting off screen is also a very major criticism we have.
Like, bro,
That we
like,
hope
just,
will get corrected in the anime.
Just give me one stretch of panels where Perospero's kicking Nekomamushi's ass. Please, just... I don't want to see it off screen. Like, it's cool that Peros is beating Neko's ass outside the Super Saiyan cheating forum. But, bro... Give me something! The anime better throw me a lot of bones. I want a whole bunch of non-canon shit. I want, like, Katakuri spawning 50 feet, like, non-canon type shit, bro. Like, I want all of it. Give me it.
And also, I don't know if you care much, but I think this is really cool. But, like, you know, the title of this chapter, right? What is it again? It's Tenozan Turning Point, right? The whole point about the title of this chapter is it's talking about, you know, one of Japan's, like, biggest, like, military coups, I think.
Okay. I had no idea. Yeah, I have no idea about Japanese history. I would really like to learn
but
more
it's like
about
one of
feudal
the
Japan. It is really
biggest
cool,
like
Dylan.
military coups.
Did you know that the samurai did not use katanas like at all? They used the short swords that were at their hips way more often. The katanas
Really?
were like, yeah, they did not use katanas
I didn't know
at
that
all.
actually.
They used basically like, you know how Sasuke has that short sword in Shippuden? He has
Yeah,
a
I
sword
do now.
with no hilt. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. Basically, something like that. Like a shorter sword. Not a long sword like a katana. Katana's not a long sword, but, you know, it's a longer sword. Also, samurai are literally just, like, Japanese militia. So, if there is a feudal kingdom, and you have soldiers, and you have, like, in that kingdom that are a part of that kingdom, that are a militia, that's samurai. So samurai can be really not cool. In fact, I'm pretty sure you've seen a lot of... By the way, dude, can we talk about how, like, many animes I've seen that take place in, like, feudal Japan that are just ass? Like...
You... Gannon, this is why I always recommend you to watch Gintama. You really need to.
Okay, because that's a good one that takes place in, like, there's
Yeah,
some feudal
it's
Japan scenes.
kind of feudal Japan.
There's some scenes that give you that vibe.
No, it's interesting. It's basically feudal Japan that's been invaded by aliens and modernized. Yeah, to like a sci-fi point, basically.
Feudal Japan is so boring. It's literally just the same thing as grimdark fantasy settings like Berserk. You know, in medieval times, there was nothing fun to do but till the fields so that you could get a bit of bread and, like, exist. And then maybe, like, not get a disease every couple of years. You know what I mean? And if you live till you're 30, bro, holy crap! Like, it's horrible. So it's the same thing with feudal Japan. There's, like, nothing fun to do. You always have to always have to write about demons.
Definitely watch Gintama.
You always have to write about demons defiling, like, women and doing, like, gross stuff. Like, feudal Japan shows always have to be, like, grimdark. And a lot of them are bad in their ass, and they don't make the setting of feudal Japan interesting at all. And it's just the same boring forest.
Oh, Gannon!
And yeah,
you need to watch it.
The only one that I can think of recently that has been good, and there are even points in it where I criticize it. Like every feudal Japan anime, there are weak points, but Demon Slayer did it really well because the action is so good.
I would say Demons. I don't think that's exactly.
No, that is the exact setting that I'm talking about, like a Demon Slayer setting. Like that is word for word the exact setting I'm talking about. Also, there's this other anime, like the Black Samurai one on Netflix that was actually bad.
You always tell me about that.
That is actually bad. That was produced by an American. I don't think it was produced by like an actual Japanese person. And so it was like American anime, but it wasn't good. It was really legitimately one of the worst things I've ever watched. I'm sorry. So like literally that setting, and then also Avatar: The Last Airbender is just kind of like feudal China, feudal Japan, like that kind of setting.
It's like feudal China, I think.
What else is another one? There's Dororo. There's this anime about this living doll dude who like has swords for arms. And that's also the same setting. These are all animes in this like same setting that I'm envisioning. That is one that kind of does it bad. For instance, Dororo is not that good. But yeah, Dylan, you still holding up with your 9 out of 10 score, dude?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Alright, I'm not giving it a 9 out of 10 score. Me and Dylan were arguing about it at work because I honestly believe that next chapter I'm probably going to want to give it a 9 out of 10. So I just can't give this one a 9 out of 10. And also, because this is the chapter, the first one in Wano where I actually have a real criticism where I think Oda made a slight error and it's just a bit lacking. So I have to knock off a point. I have to be objective here. 8.5 out of 10 for me. The Sky Split, I underplayed it. I wasn't as excited, but I understand what it means. It's incredibly important. That all being said, everybody who tuned into the stream, we got Luca, Edhog, Rhombus, Static Shattuck, Windgrawl, everybody who commented down into the chat. I appreciate all of you showing up. And yeah, thank you all for tuning into another episode of the TheOnePod podcast. Thank you so much, Dylan, for being here. I don't know if you realize this, the webcam it shows up great. I'm going to get Streamlabs OBS working and try to make the setup look a little bit prettier. And then also, I just don't even think my pop-up was working in this stream. Because I'm really bad at this, and also I procrastinate before every stream, so next time I will be better prepared, I promise. But with all that being said, if you're enjoying the content that you see on the channel, please subscribe. If you want to talk to me or basically anybody on the channel about anything, join the Discord. That's a place where we talk about things, and we post stuff, and we do fun things. Lastly, if you want to talk to us about anything, leave a comment down below. Dylan doesn't really respond to any of the comments on my channel, but he reads a lot of them and we discuss them. It's really fun. So leave a comment down below. I will be sure to get back to you if your comment is legible. With that being said, thank you so much for being here, Dylan.
Of course. Love to be here.
We are going to have to see you guys in the next one. Peace!
Peace.